Hi everyone and welcome to another chat today with a former Firhill favourite. And today's chat is one with a bit of a difference because we talked to a man who was not just a player over two spells, but also a bona fide fan of the club as well. It's Davy Craig. Davy, welcome. How are you?
Not bad, Brian. Thanks very much.
No problem at all. Keeping okay during all this?
Yes, just batting down the hatches and playing with the kids and making myself busy.
Quite right. Well, we'll kill half an hour or so now, and we'll take a wee step back right to the start of your journey. And as we said, you are a rarity, a Thistle player who was a Thistle fan. So first and foremost, when and how did you start supporting the club?
Just when I was younger and I first got into football, my friend was a Thistle fan and his dad had been taking him to games before I started going, so I went along with him. And I think those days the first club you go to watch is probably the one that you support, and your friends are fans as well. It makes it a little more sweeter, so you can go to the games together, So that's really just how it started.
Bit of a stroke of luck rather than handed down through the family or anything.
No, I wasn't handed. My dad was never a footballer, man. There was no sportiness in the family, so it just was new,
So, were you local? Was it a short trip to Firhill, or where were you?
Yeah, I stayed in Oldham Chapel.
Right.
So, not walkable, but 10 minutes, from Maryhill.
So from
not far at all.
Not far. And from what point in your youth did you want to play football as a career?
I always wanted to play. When I was younger, just kicking the ball about the street. That was it. I walked about with a ball under my arm all the time. That was all I ever wanted to do. So quite lucky in a way.
Yeah, you played out. We'll get on to your career in a minute. You played a lot of it centre half, sometimes left back. Were you always defensive in your?
No, I was always a goal scorer.
Are you?
When I first started there, yeah. Played for the school teams. I was scoring 40, 50, 60 goals a season.
Wow.
Yeah, and I started off playing for at 7 years old, playing for the top school, primary school team.
Yeah.
So I was kind of a wee bit ahead of my time, And then I played for Glasgow West, then Glasgow, and then I used to play on a Saturday and a Sunday. Just probably what most boys did, especially the ones that have turned pro. Just played all the time.
Yeah. So you're clearly playing a lot through your youth. Did you get a chance to see much of the team as a fan at that time? It must have been difficult.
Only really from when I started, I can't even remember what age I started, maybe about 7 or something, to when I first, because when you're playing all the time, you're playing Saturday, Sunday, so most of these games I suppose are in the morning when you're playing school and stuff like that, so you probably could have went to the games, in the afternoon, but at that time my friend's dad and that wasn't taking him every week, so you couldn't go every week, It was totally different then,
Aye, definitely. Who were your, as a fan, who were your Thistle heroes at that time? And that would have been the 80s, through the 80s, I guess.
Yeah. I did like Alan Rough was always a favourite of everybody's, wasn't he, Jim Melrose was pretty good.
Yeah, it's a cracking goal by him in the goal of the day a couple of days ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I saw that, yeah. Donald Park was always a favourite as well.
Aye.
And
the bit that excites me about talking to you amongst everything is really finding out how you came to join the club and live the dream of us all and pull on the red and yellow. What was the path towards joining Thistle?
I was just playing away with Mulgai Wanderers, which was a juvenile club. I was under 21s it was, and we were winning everything at that time. I think one season we went on, played in 11 finals and won 9 of them, and just missed out in the league by like a couple of points. And there was scouts galore coming. I think I went out to Alloa, Stenhousemuir, Stirling Albion, Brechin, a few clubs I went on trial with.
Mm-hmm.
The manager that my guy says, just don't sign. They were all wanting me to sign, and he said, don't sign, you'll get something better. And then I was supposed to have a couple of trials with Thistle. It was Watson Jones was the scout at the time, and he recommended me to Lambie, but they kept getting cancelled due to the weather. and I think Lambie he just signed me anyway without
And
seeing
were
me.
you still a striker at that point?
No, I was more in midfield, kind of come striker, more attacking midfielder then I ended up, and I played, obviously I played reserve games at that position, and then Big Jerry Collins took me back to left back at one point, and I kind of continued from there. That was probably the second season. But with Lambie, I wasn't getting any continuity, at that age, at that time, because he'd all his favourite kind of older players, I think Bobby Smith was there as well, and Graham Robertson at that time came in. Jim Duffy at centre half, then Grant Tierney and Big Alec Kennedy, and he wasn't going to leave these boys to try me at these positions, So I just wasn't making it there at that time.
Yeah. What going back to you actually signing? What obviously you'd been on trial. A lot of scouts looking at you at different clubs. How talk us through the act of signing for Thistle? How does it happen? Do you get a phone call? Do you go up to a meeting at the stadium?
I was Watson Jones, who used to come quite a lot, so I got quite friendly with him, and he said that Lambie wanted to sign me. So I just went up with my dad and went in, and it was obviously the old office, and I think Molly was there, and she was quite chatty, and it was like something something on the telly. You walk in and the room's all smoky, and it's all that dark wood, and he's sitting in a big comfy leather chair, it's like the Godfather or something, And I walked in with my dad, and no chance what the chat was about, but you're small talk, and he just basically said, here's the deal, we're going to sign you, we've not seen you play, but on the Watson's recommendation, and what harm does it do, And they offered me, I think it was something 30 quid a week or something, 40 quid a week part-time, start Monday, come in at half 4 or something, At that age, and that, it was 18. A bit of the handoff from it. I'd done it for nothing, signed, played, at that point, just to get the chance. So very exciting.
You remember how it felt that day?
Oh yeah, it was great, because that's what you strive for all these years, playing Saturdays, Sundays, during the week, week in, week out, and you never ever think that it's going to happen to you. You try your best, and that's all you ever want to do. But when that finally comes, you think, wow, this is brilliant. It's the most exciting thing ever.
Aye.
Yeah.
We can only dream, David. We can only dream. Sounds brilliant. I mean,
and you walk into that dressing room, and you've got Chick Charnley there, and John Flood, and Jerry McCoy. You think, like, I'm wearing a sweetie shop. You just don't know what to do with yourself, and you kind of withdraw a wee bit, because these guys are all, seasoned pros, and they're all having a laugh and changing them. You kind of want to get involved, but it's hard, and you end up quite shy, They just kind of. It's an experience. It was an experience.
We'll talk about how long it took you to bed in, how you felt at home. But when I was looking up at we'll talk about your debut in a minute as well. Your first, this explains a lot about your positional changes. Your first 5 numbers and your first 5 starts for Thistle. I don't know if you know this. Number on your back was 7, 2, 6, 3, 10.
Yeah, that explains it, doesn't it? Explains. Obviously, didn't know where to put me.
Before that, there was a couple of 12s, because I think your very first game was coming off the bench against Hamilton in a game.
I remember Jim Kerr got injured. Jimmy Kerr got injured, and then I think it was the first 20 minutes, and he just said, "Right, Davey, on you go." I was like, "Oh no, here we go. This is it," But I think I did quite well. I've got that in video as well, and I've watched it a few times now. If you get overawed, you get excited, and the thing you don't want to do is give the ball away. You just want to do the best you can, and it was very exciting.
Yeah, and it was a winning debut. It was 3-1, and Bobby Law scored that raker that hit Andy Murdoch's head on the way back and then went in. So, and lucky that it was one that was on camera, because that wasn't often the case in those days.
That's right. Yeah.
So have you got how much of the game have you got? Is it half hour?
I can't remember. I just put them all on. They were on VHS, and I got them onto DVD not that long ago. And since I've got them onto DVD, I've not watched them. But it's probably a full game, I think. For some reason, I don't know. I've got a lot of footage of quite a lot of my career, which is quite lucky because they used to do that Football First and BBC Two.
That's right. That's right. It was an STV. That's right. Yeah.
STV it was.
Yeah.
And my dad recorded a lot of it, so I've got a lot of that footage.
Brilliant.
You know, so it's quite good. But I think
so. It sounds like that day you didn't have a lot of time to think. You came on as a sub, but can you remember your emotions as walking on that pitch for the first time?
Before you go on, you're excited. You couldn't be more excited. But when you go on, like what happens to every footballer, your concentration levels are just superb. You know, you don't think about anything else. You know, apart from doing your job and trying to play the best of your ability. And
were there people there to see you? Your family or friends?
Just my dad. My dad came to every game.
Aye.
Yeah.
Biggest influence, was he?
And an influence in terms of supporting me, you know, and helping me achieve my dream of playing professional, you know. But in terms of, he was never a footballer, so he couldn't really coach me or give me any tips on what to do or anything like that. You know, I was kind of left to my own devices there.
Mm-hmm. As we know, signed by Lambie, but soon there were changes and Sandy Clark came in.
That's right, yeah.
How was your relationship with Sandy?
It started off really well. I don't know if he'd seen me play before or what, but he was quite positive. It was a positive thing for me, and he started me most of the games that he came in. It was quite exciting as well.
Good for your game time, but obviously it was quite short-lived.
Short-lived. It didn't really work out for him.
Aye. Going back to the games, you've talked about your debut. Do you remember your first Thistle goal?
I do. It was against Dundee United, and that is just, as though when I look back on it, it's as though I was playing with blinkers on. You know, I remember bits and flashes of the game, and in that header, it was like jumping up with your eyes closed. Header. I didn't obviously, but that's what it feels like now. And then I didn't see the ball go in or anything. It was, you know, somebody jumped with me. I couldn't tell you who it was, and it's hit my head and just went in, basically. You know, I'd love to see that again.
I've no idea if that'll exist. We'll look it up, but I would doubt it. But that was ended up being a 2-1 defeat that day, was it?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Ironic it should be against Dundee United, of course.
That's right. I know.
Because you moved on from Thistle. How did leaving for Hill transpire?
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed, but I knew if I wanted to progress in the game, I had to go and play regularly. And East Stirling came in for me, and then I remember Jerry and Lambie pulling me into the office, and Bobby McCulley was sitting in there. He was assistant at East Stirling at that time, and they had a chat with me and offered me a signing on fee and stuff like that. And I thought, yeah, I'll go, because I'm not going to get a game under Lambie as much as I would like. I've not really had much experience. I don't know if I'm going to get. I'm better going playing every week, and that's what I did, and it was the best thing I did, actually.
And at that point, you're only maybe 21, 22-year-old.
I was 21.
21. Yeah. And you played over 3 seasons for East Stirling, played a lot of football, and then
I really enjoyed it. It was a wee club. I really enjoyed my time there. It was a good wee club, and I looked after. Obviously, the monetary value wasn't there, and but it was a good experience, and a good learning curve.
If we talk about every club you played for, we'll be here a wee while, because you went round a few. After Thistle, there was the Shire, Dundee United, Accies, Wraith Rovers, back to Accies, and then you spent quite a long time down at Somerset with Ayr United. Yeah. How was that spell for you? It looks like you were racking up 40 plus games a season. You played a lot of football there.
It was great. I loved there. It was fantastic. It was. It helped when they had a bit of cash to spend. You know, Bill Barr was looking after the club at the time. Money was no object, so they brought in good players, and we had good runs in the cup. It was an exciting time and an exciting place to be, you know.
Aye.
And to play regularly was just fantastic.
Aye. Who were the best players you played with down at Ayr?
Big Yogi was good. He's a top man in terms of his knowledge of football, the way he wants to play the game, and his enthusiasm. And what a likeable big guy is, brilliant, you know.
Yeah.
Pat McGinley was good. Gary Teal was good. We had some great players.
Aye.
I loved Nelly as a goalie.
Yep.
And
you got to, I mean, as you say, cup runs. You got all the way to the League Cup final.
Had a few. We were beating Premier teams left, right, and centre.
Aye.
These, you know, the 5-6 years I was there, it was brilliant. Some great runs.
Aye. What was it like playing in walking out at Hampden for a League Cup final?
It's just what dreams are made of, but it passed me by really quickly.
Aye.
But it's the quickest day of my life, I think. It was just 1 minute you're going on the bus and the excitement's flowing, you know, and you get to the stadium and you see all these fans, you know, that have never been to any of the home games, you know, 10,000 were there. Yep. And it's just amazing. Aye. They've been great. They'd have been doubly amazing if we'd won it, you know.
It was a tall order. I mean, that was a strong Rangers team you played. And
that was, totally. Did well. I mean, we had the first half until they scored, and we kind of held our own. Just maybe in the latter stages of the second half, we tired. Getting, you know, you constantly get possession. You're constantly trying to get the ball back. You're going to tire.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
You end up just succumbing to chances.
Yeah. So soon after, Ayr played Rangers in the League Cup final. Thistle were to face Rangers in the Scottish Cup semi-final. Right. Hampden, just about a month. Was there any weakness in that side you thought you could see for Thistle to exploit?
They had a few good players, you know. Can't remember half of them now, but they had a strong squad.
Aye. So, yeah, you eventually signed for Thistle a second time, 2005, 2006, right. At Campbell. How did that come about?
Well, that was interesting because I was up at Brechin with his brother Ian.
Ian Pink.
I signed for Brechin, yeah. That was after Queen of the South. Yeah, and I signed for Brechin. And it was just at pre-season. We went down to Durham, I think it was, for pre-season. Did a pre-season with them, played a couple of games for Brechin, and then played against Thistle in I think it was the start of the League Cup. I don't know if it was the Challenge. No, it was the League Cup. Up at Brechin. Played well, got myself injured. The wee my groin or something. And then after it, Ian had said, or was it maybe in a game after that, Ian had said, Dick's been on the phone thinking they'd like to take you to Thistle, what do you think? And a big smile erupted in my face. I thought, aye, get me there. So I had to have a fitness check just in case my injury was, threatening or whatever. But it was just a groin strain. So they signed me, and that was on deadline day. It was like 11 o'clock at night on deadline day. I went up to Brown McMaster.
Yeah.
And signed then. And then they waited. I saw the physio for a couple of weeks, did a bit of training, and then came back. That was me ready to play. So it was great. It was great to be back. And then it wasn't that travelling up to Brechin anymore, which is another godsend, you know. So it was amazing. It was good to be back.
So, signed for the club you loved one time when you were in your teens, and then you get the chance to do it again.
It was great. I couldn't believe it, actually, to do it again. It was good.
You're obviously a completely different, not only footballer at that point, but you've had almost double the amount of life experience under you. As you say, you must have really appreciated the chance to come back to Firhill.
Totally, yep. And they were full time at that time. I was only part time. I think it was me and I think it was Bob McCulloch and maybe another that was part time. But I trained. I was personal training at that time, so I was self-employed, so I could choose when I trained. So I came in, I think, 2 mornings a week, and then was there for the Saturday. So it was fine. It was great. It worked.
What were you? How much through your career were you part time? Were you full time at any point?
I was full time, part time until 94 when I signed for Dundee United.
Yeah.
And I was full time until 94, 2000 and 2004 when Bill Barr stopped putting money into Ayr. So I left Ayr at 2004. 2004. I didn't leave Ayr then. I had to go part time.
Yeah. Back at Thistle for a second time. And the playoffs are the moment of that, or the games from that season everyone remembers. What was your experience of the games? I think you scored at Stirling late in the season. It helped us just make sure we were in the reckoning. But then you also down to Stranraer for the eventful first leg.
Was a sore one.
Yeah.
I got concussed that game and I couldn't play the rest of them. So that was a sore one. I was doing quite well. I remember going up for a header, the boy elbowing me, and I don't remember much about it. And then I just remember the physio kind of getting me round, And then I thought I could continue. Tried it for a couple of minutes, and then I had to go off. So that was the end of that.
That was a crucial night. That one, I think we were 1-0 down, 1-3-1.
That's right.
Just got ourselves through the second leg, but that teed us up for what was to come. What was your, clearly you couldn't play. Were you able to take in the rest of the games?
I didn't. I wasn't allowed to travel with them for some strange reason.
Is that right?
I wanted to go up, but they weren't taking anybody else apart from the squad.
Just to focus completely on the game. So where did you spend that Sunday afternoon when the boys were in Balmoor?
I was just listening to it on the radio.
Aye.
Because it wasn't televised, I don't know.
No.
So I was just listening to it on the radio, jumping about the room and
they
won. Basically.
So I guess a pretty bittersweet way to finish. You helped the club get promoted, but you were left out of it through no fault of anyone's, through the concussion, and then
basically
again you were to move away from the club.
Yeah.
Were you hoping to get another season with it?
Yeah, I was. Where did I go after that? I went to Dumbarton. Yeah. I don't really know what he was thinking. Because he told me he was wanting me to go full time. He was using the part time thing, and I says, "Well, I'll go full time because I could have, because I was self employed, so I could have eased off in my personal training." Excuse me. I went full time, but then he kind of backtracked at that. So they said Dumbarton were interested, and I thought, right, okay, I'll speak to Dumbarton. I was just at that age. I was 36 then. I think I just want to play. I'm not wanting to go and sit on a bench.
Yeah.
And I was spending. I think I played 21 games a day, but I could have played more. I was a wee bit disappointed sometimes. The amount of effort that you put in, and I wanted to play more and could have played more easily. I went to Dumbarton and played the whole season without an injury.
Yeah. So we remember your last goal. You maybe don't remember your last game because you get knocked out, but your last goal was at Forth Bank. Do you remember that?
I remember that. Yeah. That was a good game. Enjoyed that one.
Yeah. A happy hunting ground for Thistle.
Yeah, because we were one each, and then we needed that goal, didn't we?
Yeah. Absolutely, it was a vital one.
Yeah, it was good to get it.
The Thistle fans scoring a winner for Thistle away from home, it's just, it must have been some feeling.
Great. Any time you score a goal, it's brilliant, I had a couple chopped off when I was playing the last time, but when you get a chance like that, it's always good to score.
Aye. Did you have, through both spells at Thistle, you obviously talked about your dad being there to watch you. Did you have pals coming to watch you as well?
Yeah, a few of my friends are Thistle fans, yeah. There's one programme with me when I was younger, when I wasn't playing. I can't remember why I wasn't playing, but me and my friend went through to Brockville. And there's a picture of me and him on the front cover of one of the Thistle programmes. I
think I've seen this photo.
Aye.
Staring nervously across the pitch.
That's right, aye. And that's my big mate Stevie. He's a diehard Thistle fan. And then I'm really friendly with Bertie Ault's nephew, is it, Alan?
All right.
They're obviously Thistle fans. And then
Yeah.
my friend who I first went to the games with, he goes every week. So now I'm once a month really going. I meet up with him, we go get a couple of beers and we go down to the Hill and watch the game.
Aye. Brilliant. So what's, taking away your playing career, what's been your favourite memories supporting the club?
Just obviously playing. It's obviously a big thing to play for a club that you're a fan of. The amount of games that I saw were not as much as I would have liked because I was playing. When you're playing on a Saturday, you can't get to see as many, but as you would like.
Yeah.
But you're always looking out for the result. That's the first kind of result you look for after the results come up.
Aye. Did it change it in any way? Playing for Thistle, did that change in any way the way your feelings for the club? Does it change things? Nah, not.
Not really. No, it's always the first one you look for, and it's the club that I'll go and watch. But I haven't played for Ayr for a while. They've still got a wee bit of a soft spot for them because I spent so long there and did so well. But Thistle's obviously the first love. Nothing will change that.
Absolutely. And you keep in touch with many of the boys you used to play with?
I don't really keep in touch, no. Davy Hanna was a good friend.
Right, from up at United.
I spent a lot of time with him. We kept in touch since, but I don't see them that much, but we keep in touch. Gary Teal.
Yeah, I know Gary well. I was in the same school team as Gary. He was just a bit faster than me.
That's right. Gary's he's a good lad. There's not many. I mean, if I saw them in the street, you can have a good reminisce, a good gab, and they would, you wouldn't walk past any of them,
In fact, Gary's younger brother's a huge Thistle fan. I don't know if you know Paul.
That's right. Yeah, Paul.
He's a big Jags fan. Nice lad. And one thing before we're going to ask you about your Thistle 11 in a minute, but not just football. You're accomplished that decent tennis player as well.
Well, yeah, I've played since probably the same amount of time as I have played football. Just still not the same sort of standard, but I'm decent, Just to
there's obviously another Thistle supporter who is more than decent at tennis, Colin Fleming.
Right, okay.
You ever played him?
Yes. No, I haven't.
You?
No, I haven't played Colin. No. He's probably a lot better than me.
Let's call him out.
Aye. Yeah. if I get a couple of games, I'd be happy.
Maybe get him on for a chat at one point. Going back to your two spells at Thistle, I'm going to ask you to pick your best Thistle 11 of players you played with across the two spells. So, rules are you don't need to pick yourself. That squeezes one more player in. Any formation you want. So, Davy Craig's Thistle 11, fire away.
I'll go for Nelson and goal.
Craig Nelson.
Yeah. I'll go for Alan Denny at right back.
Yeah.
I'll go for Bob McCulloch at left back. I'll go for Gordon Ray at right centre half. I'll go for Jim Duffy at left centre half. I'll go for Bobby Law right mid.
Yeah.
I'll go for Chick in the middle. Can't forget Chick.
No chance.
I like Jimmy Gibson. I like Billy Gibson. They were both. I thought they were pretty good players.
Yeah. They both in.
Yeah, they're both in. I'm going to go for Colin McGlashan, penalty box striker, scored a few goals, and I'll go for Mark Roberts.
Marco.
Yeah.
We've had Mark on for a chat. He was great value.
Yeah, I like Mark. He's a good player. He's a good lad as well. He's good chat.
Aye. Brilliant. Good 11. How was the Chick Charnley experience then? How was, you talked about going in your first day and being almost in awe. How was he?
Mental.
Aye.
In a good way though, just a fantastic guy, fantastic at football, just keeps everybody on their toes, just full of fun, laughter. When it needed to be serious, he was, and he was just great on the ball. It was just a shame he didn't do a bit more.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't think it was down to anything he did. I think it was just other people's maybe insecurities or other people's, feelings towards him, which is a shame because he was what a player he was. Amazing.
All he needed was an opportunity, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Back defence, another player with a brilliant left peg, Bob McCulloch.
Yeah, he used to get us out of hole a few times, his free kicks
that season,
stuff
absolutely.
Like
Aye.
So I played with Bob before at Hamilton Accies.
Right.
Yeah, but at Thistle, he just had something special at Thistle.
Aye.
I thought he was, he was a good wing back. He was more. People more looked out more for him rather than him defending more.
Yeah.
He was always up the top of the park doing something. So I thought he was a good engine as well.
Struck the ball fiercely. Have you ever seen anyone strike the ball like that?
Just Albert's really.
Aye.
He was probably second
That's
best to Albert's. Yeah. He must have scored a lot of free kicks,
Aye. And Craig Nelson, I think that's the first time he's made one of our first 11s. He was
played with Nelly Ayre, and he was brilliant as well.
Aye.
He was younger then at Thistle, but it was close between him and Andy Murdoch.
Yeah.
But
two good keepers. Luxury of having two good keepers at the same time, wasn't it?
Yeah, totally.
And last one I'll just touch on would be the lawman, Bobby Law, rave on Bobby Law.
He was mental as well. Him and Chick just bounced right off each other, and Bobby had a good engine as well. And I thought he was a good lad. He was
at Thistle a long time, wasn't he?
Yeah. And he played a lot, didn't he?
Quite versatile.
Lambie liked him, and he could play right back, or right mid. And I'd have put him at right back, but Alan Denny, pretty special as well. He was a great engine up down that part. He was like a wing back before wing backs were even invented.
You don't want to upset Alan Denny, do you?
No, definitely not.
Brilliant. Davey, that's been amazing. Just to hear about how you arrived at the club especially, and then how it felt to sign for the club and your experience across two spells. And hopefully there's a few more fans out there who know your face, and we'll see it for Hill when we get football back, hopefully. So thanks very much for your time, and look after yourself. Brilliant.
Cheers, Davey. Take care. Bye-bye.